Hey, beautiful souls, beautiful sunshine here with the R Holistic Healer, aka Sonia B. I'm back with another prophetic message that I received this morning. So I just want to say basically, forgive me, y'all, we still in Mercury retrograde. Anyway, basically, for you guys who are new to my channel, I just want to say welcome. And for those of you who are returning back, I want to say welcome back. Keep in mind these energies could be happening now, or they could be coming soon, a few days, next week, 2 weeks from now. But nevertheless, I feel that the energies are ramping up. But anyway, keep in mind that if these messages does not resonate with you, just pay attention and just pay attention to the people that are around you, that's within your vicinity, or that are close to you, or whatever the case may be, and just it kind of give you a gauge, because if it's not happening to you, it could be happening to someone that's close to you, family member, friend, spouse, significant other, whoever. Anyway, so keep that in mind. But anyway, let me get right into the message. It's going to be very brief and it's going to be very quick, because that's how it came into me. So basically, it was just showing me things to be mindful of. Anyway, with all that being said, the prophetic message that I received, watch your pets, watch your little ones, kids. I don't care if they're your grandkids, your uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews, whoever they are. Just watch the little ones. Just be mindful of the little ones, because you may see them. I don't know if I want to necessarily say acting out, but it's the energy. It's like the energy. It's kind of, imagine a vault of energy going through you, and you don't know how to handle that energy, in a sense. That's kind of like what it is. So I'm just here to tell you guys to just be mindful of that. Try to be easy on the kids, because they may have a lot of energy, and it's a matter of them just needing something. They need a place, they need an outlet, so they can channel that energy and help them to balance it out. If that is helpful. So take the kids outside, let them run, let them kick a ball, let them paint, let them do something to where that they're actually getting outside and moving around, is what I'm hearing. They need to be moving. So if you have them cooped up in the house, get them outside so that they can move around, and that will help them balance out that energy. And the same thing may go for yourself too. The adults may need to do the same thing too. But I saw it was basically, so it's important to be very grounded during these times. Not only that, but if you have pets, watch your pets too, because I see that the pets were going to be kind of doing things too. So again, it's the same thing as the kids. It's like the energy is running through the pets, and it's almost like, as I said before, just imagine of being hit with a energy, or I don't want to say energy that gives you the energy to run, but a vault of like, and I'm not saying that the energy, it's a bad thing, because it's not a bad thing. It's just, it's helping us to evolve, but our bodies aren't used to it. So, that's what happens when you go from the 3D up into 4D, 5D, and every time we keep evolving and elevating, those energies just get a little higher. It's almost like a frequency. The frequency get a little higher or whatever. So it's like turning up the knob is what I'm hearing. It's like they're just turning up the knob a little bit up in the, heavenly realms, or, however things may work up there. But it's, so anytime, just keep in mind, anytime that is happening, that's what's being done. Like, you can't stay at a specific level sometimes people can until they learn a lesson, but then there's at some point in time where God is like, okay, enough is enough. You've been sitting here way too long, so now it's time for you to move. So he'll just politely turn up the knob a little bit, and, allow more energy to come in order to kind of push people forward and, get them doing what it is that they're supposed to be doing. But anyway, so keep that in mind. Watch your little ones, and please be gentle with them, because they absolutely have no idea what's taking place. As this earth is evolving, as the people are evolving, as the animals are evolving, everybody is evolving. Everything is changing. And I'm not talking, some things are changing physically that you can see, and then a lot of things are changing behind the scenes spiritually that that you can't see, that's changing energetically. So keep that in mind too. So again, please be gentle with the little ones, and be gentle with yourself. Be easy on them, because again, they don't understand what's going on. I know some of the kids are connected to the angel realm, is what I'm hearing, but other than the energy wise, you just have to just allow these kids the outlet to be creative and to be who they were meant to be, as well as giving them an outlet, to do so, while trying to balance, mommy and daddy's or whoever the guardian is over the kids at that specific time. So allow them the space to do so. The same way that you would want somebody to do the same for you. And then my music cuts off. Anyway, so with all that being said, let's see. Also, so watch the little ones, watch the animals, and keep in mind too, guys, that some of you may be finding yourselves like you may have some vacations that are already planned, is what I saw too. Some of you may already have some vacations that are planned. You may need to be open. And when I say open, I mean like open to the point of expecting the unexpected, because I saw that some people were gonna possibly have to it may not be necessary needs to cancel their vacation, but it's more so of maybe needing to alter it alter it or tweak it a little bit, or may have some delays may be taking place because of other priorities or whatever. So keep that in mind too. So if you have made some plans to go somewhere else, or if you have made plans to go on vacation and something comes up at the last minute, because something will for some of you, just keep in mind to remain open, but also find out wherever it is that you may be going, just wherever it is that you may be vacationing to, but just find out what are the fees if you need to arrive late, or what are the fees if you need to cancel. So keep that in mind too. That way you already know that information ahead of time. And then the other thing I saw was too that some people were going to be released, meaning like some people who were incarcerated. I can't say whether it was actually prison or whether it was actually jail. I saw that some people were going to be released. So from wherever it's from, whether it's county jail or whether it's, the penitentiary, whatever the case may be, just keep that in mind. Some of you guys may be getting a phone call, and you may be hearing that some people will may be telling their loved ones that they're coming home, and, so on and so on. So, for those who have served their time, good for them. And I wish them all much love and light, out here in the world. And, hopefully, for whatever cause or whatever reason that they ended up there, hopefully, coming out will allow them to have everything will be positive moving forward. I'm like, I'm lost for words here, y'all. Anyway, so those were pretty much the messages that I received. And so just be mindful of that. But anyway, I had already pre-shuffled at least these cards that I was been told to just basically give them to you. So thank you, Spirit. I see a little notification remind me. Okay. And anyway, so I'm just gonna do these real quick, and then I'm about to end this video because I got things I'm finishing up, and I'm so happy because I was like, oh my God, it's been like a long time coming. But anyway, this card is understanding. And it says, if you change your reaction by perhaps, being more understanding of the other person's position, because you realize their perception of it is different from yours. Let me read that again. I'm sorry, y'all. Like lately, I've been let me say this. Lately, I've been finding myself, I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't know. For me, I just feel like it's like, I don't know if it has something to do with like this Neptune type energy, because it was just so much stuff going on. Even yesterday when me and my son ran to Costco's real quick, I was like, oh my God, I had to hurry. And you hear me, like the energy, I'm telling you. Anyway, I literally had to get in and get out of Costco's. I was like, oh my God, I don't like going to Costco's on the weekdays. The weekends. I don't like that energy that's in there. So I hurried up in, and thank God when it was time to check out, there was nobody in front of me. I was able to get right in line, and we got what we needed, got in and got out. So I say all that to say the energies in there was just too much, and I had to leave. I did. I was just trying to hurry up and get out of there. So when I got home, I really had to like clear my energy. I was just like, oh my God. Anyway, so with all that being said, I had to, this morning I was, and some of you guys may have experienced this today too. Like, I've been noticing a lot of people, including myself, like, I got up late this morning, and when I jumped up, I realized, oh my God, like, one, I hadn't finished saying my prayer completely. And then two, I jumped into trying to do a couple of exercises, and I didn't even go through the full routine of that just so I could hurp and get outside and, go for my morning walk or run or whatever the case may be, walk the dog. And then I had to run to the 2 other stores or whatever. And then I had to take my mom somewhere real quick, and so she can drop her car off, and then I have to take her back out again later to pick it up. But anyway, I say all that today is just, and I actually started recording the video while I was sitting in the car waiting for her to get to the shop so I could pick her up. But and then I felt like Spirit was like, well, you shuffle those cards at the house that you need to read. So I was like, oh, because I was trying to not kill a bird, but I was just trying to take care of 2 things at one time, so that way it'd be one less thing I had to take care of when I got back home. But anyway, so I'm trying to center myself and calm myself down. Let me try it again. Okay, I'm ready now. Again, it says understanding. If you change your reaction by perhaps being more understanding of the other person's position because you realize their perception of it is different from yours, and I see another notification, thank you God, of feeling less threatened by someone's actions by developing more self-confidence and greater self-esteem, or simply by listening to his or her explanations rather than instantly sounding off, then you'll get a whole new set of reactions from the people around you. And I just talked to you guys about this yesterday, and we was talking about perception, people's perception, and then not only, it was more so people's intentions. So what I wanted to say was, it's back to talking about people's intentions. People's intentions may not necessarily be good when I was talking about in relationship wise, people going tit for tat, people trying to hurt other people, and they end up finding themselves being hurt, and God keep throwing them exactly what they're giving out or what energy they're projecting at somebody else. They're getting that same energy projected back at them, not from that person they're projecting it at, but through someone else. And usually it's through a friend or somebody that you don't know, or somebody who's, let's just say, interested in an individual, an outside, should I say. So, be mindful of that too. So just keep in mind, sometimes if just sitting down and something simple as having a conversation, I know me, I'm a conversation type person. And I say all that to say, if there's an issue, I like to address it. If there's a problem, I like to address it. If there's something on my heart, I need to address it. Because God told me that years ago. He was like, I'm going to keep allowing you to feel a certain way until you open up your mouth and use your words. Well, some of you guys are dealing with this right now. And I mean, this happened to me every bit of almost like, what's this? Probably like back in the late 90s, somewhere like 98 or 99 or something like that. But anyway, so he taught me that lesson then. So ever since then, when I feel like my heart is being troubled, or if I feel like something's on my heart that I need to say, I say what I need to say. Why? Because I realized once I said what I needed to say, that it was liberating me in the process. So at that point, I was like, oh, this is all I had to do. So from that point on, let me just say, from that point on, anytime something was on my heart that it bothered me, I'm not saying go out here and be malicious and, try to cut people down and not, I'm not telling you to pacify people's feelings either, because it's up to them how they interpret what you're saying. But just be mindful of how you delivering the information to people, as if you would want somebody to be mindful of how they're delivering it to you. So it's not the fact of you not speaking your truth, it's the fact of the matter of how you're delivering the information. As they say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. If you come off ain't nobody hearing that. At least no, I'm not. At that point in time, I'm walking the other direction, because I no longer do that anymore. And nor am I accepting that from, I'm not accepting that energy from anybody. I'm not accepting that energy from anyone else anymore, any longer. And every bit of 3 years ago, I decide I'm done with that. I'm done with that. If people can't come to me and have a conversation, then you don't have no words for me at all. Because I know if I come to you and if I say something that's on my mind and I say what needs to be said, and I know that I have not come from a place of being malice, or my intentions were not to hurt, harm, or to injure somebody, but it was more so coming from a place of me speaking my truth. And I didn't say it in a way that was, being hurtful. And I know because I was being intentional when I was delivering the message, in other words. So therefore, if the other person is taking offense because I have delivered a message that I say, you know what, and no offense, but in all love and light, and I don't say this to be not trying to be funny or whatever the case may be, and sometimes I start my conversation off that way, just to let people know I'm not coming from a place of ill will. But if the other person decides that they are offended by you coming to them in that form, in love and light, or I'm not trying to be funny, that's their problem at that point. It's no longer yours, because you stated that you're not trying to be funny. And as long as your heart knows that you're not trying to be funny, because God knows. But not only that, but yeah, so just keep that in mind. So again, sometimes people can misinterpret what people were saying. And I actually just said this to my mom yesterday. I was telling her, I was like, well, you really should ask or be a little bit more detailed, or not expect somebody to understand what it is that you're saying. Because, and if you're not sure of what, because it happens two ways. People should learn to ask more questions. I know me, I ask too many questions. I'm not going to say I ask too many questions. I ask you questions all day long because I just need to know. That's just me. So I don't have a problem with asking people questions. Some people don't like to ask questions, but then people assume, everybody's perception is different. People assume what they think that the other person is saying. And 9 times out of 10, they turn out to not even assume correctly. That's why I say it's important to basically ask a person, what is it that they mean by such and such, such and such. So in other words, if somebody say, well, I don't like when you do this and this and that. Well, what do you mean that you don't like when I do this and that? How is it that I do it, or whatever the case may be? Because I know one time, and even through text messages, one time I had a conversation with somebody and they honestly thought I was trying to be smart. And I was like, no, I honestly was not trying to be smart. I think that's how you took it, because I realized that person was already in a mindset on the other end of the phone. They was in a headspace of, they thought I was trying to be funny just because they were emotionally let's say, because they were in an emotional place of having whatever issues that they had going on. So I realized that they was interpreting what I was saying from a point of, from their perspective. I said no, and and so from that day forward, when I realized that they thought that I had an attitude, or they thought I was being smart, I had to let them know, no, absolutely, I was not being smart. I said, that's just how you took it. And I think if we had a conversation in person, you would understand that I was not trying to be smart. So again, it all depends on what mindset other people are in when you having these conversations with them, because their perception could be totally off of what they thinking of other people. That's why I say sometimes what other people think about me, it ain't none of my business. That's their problem, and they need to figure that out, not mine, and try to convince them otherwise. But anyway, so keep that in mind. Consider your feelings. Recognize and admit to yourself that you feel angry is important, because it means you are actually considering how you feel. So when you realize that you're upset about something, you should sit with that and say, hey, I am upset about something. Why are you upset? You tell yourself why you're upset, because if you can't at least admit that to yourself, what you're trying to say is basically you don't matter, because you're trying to say your feelings don't matter. So if you feel like your feelings don't matter, ain't nobody else going to feel like your feelings don't matter. So keep that in mind. But it first starts with you. Once you realize that your feelings matter, then other people are going to realize that your feelings matter also. But if you don't realize and acknowledge that your feeling matters, then nobody else is going to. That's just how that energy works. And it says, rather than just rather than reacting as if on autopilot, oh my God, hold on, let me go back up. Recognize and admitting to yourself that you feel angry is important, because it means that you are actually considering how you feel, rather than just reacting as if, that's not worded right, just reacting as if on autopilot. Okay, it's not making sense in my brain. I'm sorry. You are thinking through what is happening, not just letting it rip with their first instinct. So keep that in mind, guys. Yeah. Not just letting it rip with your first instinct, habitual response. So keep that in mind. Your feelings do matter. And I know that I did a message on that too. I think it was the one, something pertaining to the when I mentioned that you were being slowed down on purpose in that video, because I realized in there that someone was actually it was as if someone was getting upset because someone was kind of rushing them and they got upset. So they acknowledged the fact that they got upset or whatever. And they didn't just try to dismiss their feelings and say, no, it didn't bother me. But, they realized and they actually admitted that they were upset. So anyway, admitting something is always good. That's a step to healing, and it's a step of pushing you forward. The law of attraction. As the law of attraction vibrates at a particular frequency, we just talked about that today, it attracts and resonates with other things vibrating at that same frequency, including your thoughts. It works for everyone at all times, attracting into their lives whatever they focus on most, whether that is positive or negative. And then I get a confirmation. You hear that, y'all? Sorry. So I wanted y'all to heard that for yourself. That was the confirmation right there. Let me read it one more time. So that's why I said the other day, it's important to watch your thoughts, because thoughts become things come into action. And if you vibrating at that low frequency of things that you're wanting, you're going to get exactly that. So in other words, if you playing games with people, guess what? You're going to get those same gains in return with whatever it is that you searching out or you looking for in a person. You want a relationship? Okay, cool. If your heart ain't right, guess what? And I see another note. Thank you, Lord. So if your heart ain't right, I'm sorry, it's on vibrate, y'all. You can't hear it, but I see it coming down as I speak. Thank you, Lord. Anyway, so if your heart is not right and you're out here playing games with people, oh God, and then I see another one. Okay, thank you. God is speaking. So if your heart isn't right and you're out here playing games with people, well, guess what? You think that you're meeting somebody new, and it may seem like it's going good for a minute, but guess what? They're going to start playing games with you the same way you was playing games with other people. That's why it's so important to watch your intentions and make sure you coming from your heart space, meaning like, okay, you know what? I'm not playing games with anybody, because I am looking for a serious relationship. I am looking, and I'm not just making it about relationships. I'm looking for serious friendships. I want to do better in life. I want to be a better person. I want to evolve. I don't want to stay stuck in doing the things that I have been doing, but I want to see in my surroundings better things coming to me. So in order for better things to come to you, you got to change your mindset. In other words, like I said, the law of attraction, what you put out is what you get in return. It's nothing more than karma. And open-mindedness. The problem we all have is that we generally only see things from our own perspective. Again, second time. And often assume that the way that we see things is the way others see things too. If you keep in mind that we are all individuals, and I tell this to my kids, I tell this to my mom, and I tell this to other people, we all interpret things differently. That's why it's so important, if when somebody says something and you're not sure exactly what they're saying or what they mean, ask them, well, what is it that you're saying? Well, I hear you saying this, but what do you mean by that? I do that all the time, and it may get on some people's nerves, but that's okay. At least I want to make sure I understand, because I don't want to assume where they're coming from. So that's so important. This is often at the root cause of problems with other people, which in turn can lead to the development of negative emotions. And I just talked about that. So we need to become more open-minded. So once you learn to become a little bit more open-minded, rather than close yourself off to what's happening, or whether you thinking that somebody's coming to, let me say this. Thank you, Spirit. Because yesterday I did the video, but I did it from outside, so I didn't have my notes in front of me. But I'll say this. Oh, God. I'll say this. Okay, thank you, Spirit. God wants you to know, if you just trust and you do what's right and you do it from your heart space. I know some of us have been so analytical and been so, so so tight gripped to the point that it's like you try to control everything in your life from up here. And when you do that, you're absolutely controlling nothing, because you're thinking too hard and you're doing it from your own perspective rather than doing it from God's perspective. When you go into your heart space, because remember, God lives within us. When you go into your heart space and you know that you're coming from a place of being authentic, as I said yesterday, being authentic, you're being truthful with yourself. You're not playing games with people. You're not playing games with other people. Well, guess what? You don't have to worry about that energy coming back to you. People playing games with you. I'm not saying that people may not, but you know what it is? People may try to play those games with you, but intuitively, you're going to know where they're coming from. Let me say that. Because I'm not going to say just because we're evolving that everything is going to stop. No, God is going to give you the insight so you know when they're playing games with you, should I say. And you don't even have to worry about, you won't even entertain it. Person comes at you, oh, okay, all right, have a good day. Honestly, I will say this, and I'm not saying, I say it in all humbleness and I say it in all love and light. For me, I think people got a feeling of not to bring me certain bullshit, and I say that in all love and light, and I say that to say because it's almost like they know, and it's almost like it's an energy, it's a frequency that I like give off, like, don't come at me with the bullshit, come at me authentic. And I noticed that a lot of times when I'm around people, it's like I've noticed that all like last year, and I didn't even notice that it was happening before until Divine Spirit Light started showing me, like, I give off a frequency of, when you come in my space, it's like you have to be authentic. You can't come in my space being fake, phony, and, trying to pretend that you're something that you're really not, because I can see through it. And I'm not saying that from a perspective of judging. I'm saying that from a perspective of being intuitive. I just see it and I know it right off the bat. So sometimes people get a little uncomfortable around me, not because I'm making them uncomfortable, but it's just the frequency, it's the energy that it's like that I carry with me. And it's like no nonsense type energy. Like, you can't come in my presence being fake about it. If that helps a little bit. Anyway, and it's funny, I'm talking about frequency and it says change the frequency. You on time, God. Anyway, as they say, he's an on time God. Yes, he is. Anyway, so it says change frequency. And I just said that. You are basically a human transmission tower, transmitting a frequency with your thoughts. If you want to change anything in your life, change the frequency by changing your thoughts. I just said that. Change your frequency by changing your thoughts. Your past thoughts have created the life you are living today, and your current thoughts are creating your future life. What you think about or focus on the most will appear as your life. What you think about or focus on the most will appear as your life. So if you're consistently thinking about the past, you will recreate those situations. So if you stand stuck in thinking about the past, and sometimes we do have to revisit the past, because the past is, without the past, there is no future. So sometimes we will be taken back to the past, but sometimes the past, and I know some of us have been taken back to the past or thinking about certain things of the past, things that people may have done, or things may have acted a certain way, or maybe situations that they maybe thought about they shouldn't have done, should I say, because I know we are in those type of energies. But it's more so of you acknowledging that, because now here's the opportunity to acknowledge that and to move forward, meaning to handle things differently. Thank you, Spirit. Oh my God, you're on time. I hear the stove going off. I hear the ambulance out there. So in other words, you guys, if you are being taken back to the past for just for a moment, and that's only, sometimes you're being taken back to the past so you can correct what was done in the past and going forward to make sure you don't repeat that same mistake again. In so many words. Anyway, so feeling grateful. Today, help us to lead happy, content, fulfilled lives. It is important to distinguish between your wants and your needs, and to recognize and appreciate what we already have. Some people seem to feel grateful more often than others, and those people also tend to be happier, more helpful, and forgiving, and less depressed than their less grateful counterparts. So keep that in mind too. That's why I know I always say I try to be grateful even for the little things. I don't take it for granted. I thank God each and every morning when I wake up to allow him to know, thank you for allowing me to wake up to see another day. Thank you for allowing me to get up to work out another day. Thank you for allowing me to get up to go for a jog or walk each and every day. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the animals that I see outside. As a matter of fact, say it what you will, but remember, what you think of me is your problem. But I even talk to the animals outside, because I realize that I am also one with it. And then we hear this. I also realize that I'm one with the animals too, but I say all that to say, because we're connected to all things. And once we realize that, our life will flow so much smoother. And appreciation is the last one. This one. It says, be willing to express your gratitude and appreciation to the people you care about. Tell them regularly that you love them. Thank them for the things that they do for you. Enjoy giving them little gifts that will please them and show them how much you care about them. So when you do little acts of kindness, that's showing people that you're grateful and you're thankful for the little things that they do. I know sometimes I know me, I tend to do a lot for people, and I say that to say, and when I give, I don't give with the intentions of, when I give from the heart, because I know I try to put myself in other people's shoes, and I try to be grateful. I am grateful when people do things for me, but then I know you have so many people out there who has been in the mindset of, like, when you do something for them, it's like they don't even appreciate it. So at that point in time, I just start telling myself, if I see that people don't appreciate what I do, I just stop doing stuff for them, period. And then when they miss the fact of me doing stuff for them, then maybe they'll learn to appreciate that a little bit more. And I say that in all much love and light, because why am I going to keep wasting my energy, my time, of doing something for someone, one, that they, don't necessarily say thank you for. Two, I can tell that there's a little bit of arrogance in the way, because it's like a little hesitation, like they don't want to say thank you. And three, I'm not going to keep going out of my way to do things for people when I know that they don't appreciate it. So when I see that people are appreciative of the things I do, then by all means, I have no problem at all with giving to them. But those who I see that don't appreciate what I do, I'm just like, I'm going to keep my energy. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know that what I do does not matter to you. So I will be more than happy to keep my energy. And I will continue to do just that. So I hope that was helpful, guys. But I am going to pull one more card. But so remember, appreciation is important. Being grateful is important. And changing the frequency. Changing that frequency is so important, because that's what's happening. It's almost like I just said at the beginning of this message, the frequency is being turned up, so with watching the kids, watching the pets and all that other stuff. And, it's so important that you keep that in mind. And, it's important to keep that in mind. It's just like what... And I see another notification. So frequency is everything. When I tell you it's everything, it's everything. It makes a big difference, because when you're on a higher frequency, it's almost like, let me just say, less nonsense comes to you in a sense. I'm not saying that stuff may not come to you, but less nonsense comes to you. It's not chaotic. It's not a whole bunch of confusion. You deal with less of that energy. Let me say that. So, and the other thing was, remember to stay mindful, to be open-minded, and to not to be closed-minded, because you can't just always assume what other people thinking, and so on and so on, because everybody's perception is different and everybody interprets things differently. I say that all the time, especially over here on this end when the cameras are off. To be clear on, even outside of my home when I'm talking to people, just being clear on what you're saying, because again, everybody interprets something differently. The law of attraction, remember, whatever you put out, that's what's going to come back to you. So if you emotionally tied up with holding on to the past and having a grudge with somebody, or still upset with somebody for whatever reason that you are upset with them for, that's a you problem, and you're going to stay stuck in those energies as long as you keep staying there, because what's going to happen is those people who come within your vicinity or towards you are going to be the same people who are on the same frequency, because that's exactly what it is. That which frequency that you're on, if you stay stuck in that frequency, you're going to constantly keep bringing people in who are exactly like you. So if that's an energy you're trying to get rid of, you need to change your mindset. Remember, thoughts become things, and things, you act them out. And the last, consider your feelings, and just know that consider your feelings. I'm not telling you to dismiss your feelings if you're upset about something, but at some point in time, you can't change your feeling. Well, I'm not saying you can't change your feelings. You can change your feelings, but you can, you acknowledge your feelings, and then you move on. If you choose to address whatever it is that you upset about, or whatever is emotionally bothering you, if it's involving somebody else, you take it to that person, say what you need to say. Remember, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You deliver information the same way you will want it to be delivered to you. In other words, you don't want nobody come to you, all that other stuff. No, you come to them, you say what you need to say, you breathe, you exercise, you go work out, you do some Taebo, you do some, whatever you need to do before you go talk to that person. That way you're centered in a sense, so that you can come saying what you need to say, and you're saying it in peace, and you're not coming from a place of being hateful. Anyway, last but not least, understanding. So you have to remember to change your reaction. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember what this card was. If you change your reactions by perhaps being more understanding. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Being more understanding towards other people. Putting yourself in other people's shoes. Because, again, I always tell people that you never know what a person had to go through. So, in other words, don't just assume because what you're seeing on the outside, or, because you never know what goes on behind closed doors or what people are dealing with. You never know. But anyway, let me do this last one. I already pre-shuffled, so I'm just going to do 2 more shuffles, y'all. Divine Spirit of Light, what message do you have for the collective? I hope you guys get out in nature. It actually feels good out before it gets too... before it gets too hot outside. Cosmic flower. The frequency of cosmic flower activates our remembrance of the place we all call home, the core from which we pour our magnificent out into the world. So this card is about home. What makes you feel like home? What things make you feel like home? Whatever it is that makes you feel like home is what I'm hearing, or whatever it is that makes you feel like home. You need to connect more with those things that I don't care what it is. If it's music, if it's art, if it's certain group of people, if it's, whatever it is may be for you. What makes you feel like home? You need to ask yourself that question. What makes you feel like home? What makes you feel that you can be your true authentic self is what I'm hearing. What makes you that you don't feel like you have to put on a front for anybody, but you can be your true self. You can feel like, oh, this is going back to kind of like what I was saying earlier when I said that people, okay. So keep in mind that you have to figure it out. I can't tell you. You have to figure out what makes you feel like home. If it's an activity, if it's a particular place, if it's a home, if it's whether it's your kids, whether it's, certain memories, if that's making you feel like home. I guess you guys, what I'm hearing is you should connect more with the things that make you feel like home, is what I'm hearing. Okay. I had these cards turned upside down, but I'm told to take this one too. This is integration. The frequency of integration supports our oh my God, excuse me. The frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize in a balanced symphony of life. So keep that in mind. Those are actually the energies that we're kind of going through right now, to be honest with you. It's like you're trying to balance the past with the present moment. So it's like a matter of being stuck, but gradually coming out of that energy and kind of integrating it with the present moment. So yeah, I mean, I'm trying to show you how I'm seeing it. Imagine like, okay, thank you. Imagine like a person is standing here, and just pretend like you're watching a movie. Imagine somebody standing here, and then there's like a shadow or a spirit that's over here, and then all of a sudden the two just now the shadow or the spirit is outside of the body, but now it's like the two are integrating, in like, let's say this is the spirit, okay? I'm sorry. This is the spirit, and it's like the spirit is trying to become one with the present moment. So it's like the past is trying to become present with the present, with this present moment. That makes sense. I'm trying to describe to you how I'm seeing it, y'all. But anyway, so before I go, I'm going to do this one last one that I'd already had pre-shuffled. I was about to not do it, but I feel like I got it to do it. So, Divine Spirit, what message do you have for the collective? I wasn't expecting this video to be 41 minutes long, y'all, but what message do you have for the collective? What do you want them to know? Taking this one because it's say what you mean. So again, if you're in a heart space and if you're playing games with people and what I'm hearing, this is what I'm hearing. If you're in a heart space of wanting, like, whether it's true love, friendships, whatever it is that you want, whether it's a job, whether it's whatever it is that you want, or you're looking for, or you're asking for, or whatever, and I'm going to just use friendships and relationships because that's a little easier for me to kind of interpret. But I say all that to say, if you want a relationship, you just keep in mind that the next time that you decide that you want to do something or say something to try to hurt or jab at somebody, or you're not being authentic, meaning you coming with hidden motives or hidden agenda, just know that same energy, as I said, is going to come back to you. So if you really don't mean that, and you really don't want that type of energy, and you don't really want to experience that, well, then you got to stop giving out that energy. So again, it's about you being your authentic self. Mean what you say. If you say you want love, if you want true love requires you to be authentic, to be vulnerable. I hope I'm saying that right, because I know my kids always get on me. I'm sorry, I'm from the South. For those of you who don't know, I'm that Georgia peach. But anyway, yeah, it's about being authentic. And just because you're being authentic and being vulnerable doesn't make you weak. Let me say that. And I think people get that misconstrued, because I would rather deal with somebody who is authentic and somebody who knows how to be vulnerable, should I say, because they're showing me their true self. And that doesn't mean that I'm coming to take advantage of them, because that's not what it means. That's why it's so important to surround yourself around like-minded people. That way you don't have to worry about those people trying to take advantage of you, but you can be yourself. But when you're not being yourself and you hang around those people who are not true and authentic themselves, well, then that's when the confusion comes in, because you cloak yourself, you stay tight, and you keep everything close, and you keep your cards close, and you play games just because the people around you are playing games. Sorry, y'all. That took so much energy. Like, I don't even want to be around that type of energy. And that right there alone, just me saying that, it was just enough to just be like, whatever. Anyway, that's not the type of energy I choose to be around, but to each is to own, and I'm not judging anybody. I'm just telling you. because just me saying it alone, that just kind of I don't know. It's just like, I don't like it. But anyway, so anyway, guys, I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And just remember to just watch the babies. I'm sorry, I love the kids. Watch the kids, watch the pets, and just watch your surroundings and the people around you, because like I said, it could be happening either to yourself or just the people around you. And more importantly, just make sure you get out in nature, because it's so important to stay grounded. Anyway, but with all that being said, I say namaste to you all, and I say peace and blessings until the next prophetic message. Bye.